Hello, everyone. It is the Dread Pirate once again, your shitty Catholic god, and I'm in front of the camera this time. Oh my god! It's the daytime, and I don't. But it's soft. It's not like the sun like in the back, so I actually have like reasonably good lighting. I'm amazed. But yeah, I'm just wanting to get caught up on some events and some stuff I went to recently. So it's almost like this one's like super late. It's almost like a month later, but basically just giving you guys a heads up. This past September, on the 30th of September, precisely, I went to an event in St. Petersburg at Sunrise Lanes. It's a meet and greet with actor Nicolas Brendon. Now, for those of you who know, I am a giant Buffy the Vampire Slayer Angel fan. So this was kind of cool. He was coming to town. It was at Sunrise Lanes. It was at a bowling alley, and I was like, oh, this is pretty freaking awesome. So I went to it. He apparently does this very regularly. He and his girlfriend basically travel around the United States, and they do these little meet and greets. And they go bowling with people. They sing karaoke. It's very, very personable. It's about $100. Free selfies, all the autographs you want, and I think the only thing else they charge for is merch. It was a really good time, and I thought I would review it and talk about it a little bit. So a little before we go any further, I need to tell you a little bit about who Nicky is, who Nicolas Brendon is. It's like, okay, so if you're fans of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he was Xander Harris, the Zeppo, Buffy's friend who winds up like fighting alongside her, fighting monsters with her. He's kind of the comic relief guy. He's kind of the beating little heart of the show. Had some of the best moments, and in particular, there was I think one of my favorite episodes in particular is the Zeppo, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. Yeah, really nice guy. He's been a big part of the Buffyverse and a lot of the expanded universe with that. But if you've been paying attention, I try not to pay too much attention to the lives of celebrities. This coming from the guy who complains about Doug Walker every so often. But I mean, I haven't been paying too much attention. But those of you who may know, Nicky has gotten into a lot of trouble within the past couple years. He's been arrested multiple times, as late as an incident last year. Nicolas Brendon basically has been for some time struggling with very severe depression, and as well as alcohol abuse and some drug abuse, and as a result, he's been arrested multiple times. This is serious stuff, and it seems like part of the reason why he does these meet and greets is, in addition to he loves meeting with his fans, but also that it's therapeutic and it seems to be helping him. But yeah, he's been basically getting into a lot of problems. At least he had been getting into a lot of problems up until recently, and it seems like it's a constant struggle that he needs to deal with. So part of the intention of basically in addition to the meet and greet, there was a Buffy fest where he and like Emma Caulfield, who played Anya, his girlfriend on the show, also basically getting met with fans, and that was neat. Unfortunately, I missed that as things screwed up. I wound up missing I wasn't able to find the location, but I did go to the meet and greet. And part of the intention of the meet and greet is to talk, about the stuff he's been in before and whatnot, and meet up with fans, but also to talk about depression, and have to be an open forum. People, anybody that's dealt with depression themselves can come and talk to them about it. I've joined his Facebook page. You can, I'll put a link in the description as well about a link to his Facebook page. Part of the intention of the Facebook page is it's not just a place for fans, but it's a place to talk about depression and people that have dealt with it. And he seems like he benefits from. It's a thing as a person who's not depressed, and I think for a lot of people it's hard to understand what they're going through. I can understand just from kind of a purely medical perspective that a lot of times this stuff is chemical. Because unfortunately, at the end of the day, we are basically chemically based beings, and no matter what, these issues crop up again and again, and it can be a chronic problem for people. But I think part of what helps him and has been helping him deal with this and deal with his various problems is basically reaching out to other people and helping them deal with it, and also in turn helping himself as well. And it seems like it's helping. This was quite possibly the most positive celebrity encounter I've ever had, and I've been, especially in recent years, I've been going to a lot of conventions. I attend Pensacon. I've got nothing but wonderful things to say about people like Virginia Hay and Dana DiLorenzo and many other great actors. This was like one of the coolest things. He's unbelievably sweet and nice person, and just very 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 friendly, very very playful, and again the intention was just to come have have some fun, make some memories, and it was really cool. It seems like he it was like we went together, we had a good time, and it was helping him out, but he was also reaching out to other people, and I think it's very good for him to be doing stuff like this. So yeah, so basically we hung out, we bowled for like 3+ hours and just hung out. We had a few drinks, and I'd never been to Sunrise Lanes too, and Sunrise Lanes in general is just a pretty cool bowling alley I'd never been to before, so they had some good pizza there as well. We talked a lot about the show. I asked him a lot of questions about Buffy, and a couple, like, I got a little bit inside information, like he wasn't 100% crazy about how season 7 went of Buffy, and it's like, I wasn't 100% crazy with the potential storyline either, I got a little bit of information about one thing we were talking about is I asked him about the recent, for those of you who follow a lot of the crap I do online, it was like, oh no, a Black Buffy's coming. And it's like they're SJWs, and it's like I'm normally the first person to complain about things like that. And of course, what's hilarious is that Anita Sarkeesian's totally against the Black Buffy, and it's like really, you're not against this? Ooh, it's like when we complain about this thing happening, it's like we're sexist pigs, but it's like ooh, when you do it, it's like all right. He kind of put a lot of my fears to rest. It's like he basically I was asking him about it, and it was like his response was like, well, Joss is writing it. Seriously, and that's all I really need to hear at the end of the day is like Joss Whedon's writing it. I'm a Joss Whedon fan. I'm probably not the best. I don't think Joss Whedon's perfect one way or another. It's definitely, you can definitely criticize a lot of his works. Again, we brought up, I'm like season 7 of Buffy. I think is a good season, but I think like a lot of his feeling was this should have been kind of like a celebration of this is the last year we're doing this show together. This should be a celebration of the core characters, and you got all these new characters that are coming in that we're never going to see again. And it does feel awkward, especially like in terms as a giant Buffy nerd. One of my problems with it is the fact that it's like the I'm going on a tangent, but basically the bad guy, the first, is running around trying to kill off the Slayer line. She's going after the potential Slayers, but the thing is the potential Slayers aren't Slayers yet. And Buffy was trying to turn the potentials into an army, and it's like, okay, you have superhuman strength. Faith has superhuman strength. The rest of these girls don't. These people are... This is like arming the people in the witness protection program. It's not. I get it. It's not a terrible idea on paper, but at the same time, it's like, why don't you let the FBI watch out for them? Like they know what they're doing. Joss isn't perfect. A lot of people have been very critical of, say, Avengers: Age of Ultron, but at the end of the day, I feel like Joss Whedon is makes stories I like to watch. He makes stories I like to read. Overall, his stuff is very very good. He's a nerd at heart. He does great science fiction, and he does a great job with it. So it's like, and he's hemming the Buffy reboot. He's hemming the Buffy reboot. The girl from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is hemming the Buffy reboot. He would assure me that basically anybody who's complaining about this is a Trump supporter, and it's like, at the end of the day, that's all I have to hear. And also, he's never heard of Anita Sarkeesian, but he wasn't impressed to hear the fact that, she wasn't for the whole thing. So, yay. That's it. For anybody who hates Anita Sarkeesian, there. I felt that was pretty cool. But, I don't want to put words in the man's mouth, but it was very cool. I got a little insight into some of his moments on Buffy. That was great. I talked about some of his other projects. I asked him about some of his other projects, which I still need to see. Another big show he was in is Criminal Minds, which apparently is very very good. I have not seen it yet, but I'm going to look into it. There's also, I believe, a movie Coherence, which is a comedy movie he did that's like all improv. So again, I'm gonna check this out. Y'all should check this out too. You should all go check out. You should also check out some Nicky Brendon movies and TV shows. That's what you should do. And again, I asked him about his kind of his personal demons and what he struggled through, and it was kind of interesting. It's like I'm a guy that, to get a little personal with you guys, I'm a person that's like kind of, I've got things that bother me, and it's like I've always wondered. It's like I've never really kind of known if I'm depressed, and his kind of response to that is, well, if you were. So. It was interesting to kind of get a little insight into what he's been through and what he struggled with, and he's working on it. But he's staying positive, and it was a lot of fun. It was a really good time. He's a really sweet person. I strongly encourage anybody who watches this, check out his Facebook page. And if he's in your town, if he's nearby doing a meetup, go visit Nicky Brendon. Go visit his girlfriend Sarah. You guys will have a great time. And basically, like the messages, like it was very intimate and personal. It was really, when I mean it was like one of the best celebrity encounters I've ever in my life, I mean that. It was like the only, yeah, I mean, it was like the only thing that probably could top that is probably like, you know, banging a supermodel. It's like, it was really, really great. It was really fun. He loves to give hugs. It's like there's if you go to his Facebook page, there's a, like, especially the Sunrise event, you can see my picture there. I'm holding a bowling ball like a big fat dork. But it was really cool. We bowled a little bit. I met a lot of great people that are in my area that are also fans of his. We got to talk a bit. Had a few beers, had some laughs. The only thing missing, there wasn't any karaoke at Sunrise Lanes. It would have been great if it was there. And I got swag. So, you know, I got two of my free autographs. Here we have the standard Xander headshot from signed by him. Maybe a little hard to see on the black shirt, but there it is. It's there we go. Eddie Huzzah, Nicolas Brendon. So it's picture of Xander, classic autograph right here. We also have this is kind of like, I think this is like a 10 years later kind of group shot, but basically it's essentially the entire Buffy cast. You can see that. The entire Buffy cast was a little bit older and kind of gothed out, and signed by him, which I thought this was pretty epic. It's pretty awesome to have. There's also, I'm not a huge Funko person. I have enough bull crap that, like, I've got a bunch of old video. I don't have any room for this kind of crap, so I don't, you know, the rest of you collectors, hey, knock yourself out. But I figured for him, I'll do it. We've got a little Xander Harris Funko figurine signed, so that's pretty cool. So that's neat. And finally, and again, as a fan of the show, this was a little bit of a bigger deal for me. This is Xander, Ice Cream Xander, from the episode Restless, where he's in a dream and he's the ice cream man. There is the little cheese slices from the man with the cheese, and his heart, which gets ripped out by the primitive, which is pretty neat. So, yeah, it was a really, really good time. Next time he's in town, I'm definitely gonna go see him. Y'all should too. And you know, it's the type of thing where it was kind of neat. Like, it was interesting, just kind of talking to a person who's deals with depression, and kind of and checking out the Facebook page of like all these other people that have their stories. It was you know, this kind of struggle that they deal with, and it's like it doesn't go away. It's in their head, and it's real for them, and it's a daily struggle. I mean, for me, I've had like issues with like anger before, and it's the type of thing, and other problems I've had to deal with. It's not the same, but I understand like having to work every day to kind of better yourself. And he's had a lot of problems. You can look up a lot of the stuff that he's basically. It sounds like he's had issues with depression, which has led him to drink, which has led him to do things he should not and get arrested for it. But he's working on it every day, working to get better. And I feel like these meet and greets are really positive ways for him to deal and for him to reach out to other people. Before I talk about a little more fun topic of what was going on here, I would like to talk about my favorite thing that Nicolas Brendon has been in, which is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, the Zeppo. The spoiler alert for those of you who have not seen the show: go watch Buffy and Angel. What the fuck's wrong with you? Go do it. Watch everything else by Joss Whedon. What are you doing? Come on. But so it's season 3 of Buffy, and the entire point of the Zeppo is that Cordelia makes fun of Xander and compares him to Zeppo Marx. He's like the Marx brother that nobody cares about, nobody remembers. And basically because, you know, you're surrounded by all these superheroes. You got Buffy, who's a slayer, Willow's a witch, Angel's a vampire. You got all these people that are big, important, and something's building up. They're having all sorts of other problems with, like, the mayor in the background. The mayor is going to turn into a giant demon at the end of the school year. But other things are happening, too. It's like a new group of demons have come to Sunnydale. They're very, very dangerous, and they're trying to open the Hellmouth. And they're this big. They're going to cause this big event that's going to open up the gateway to hell that's underneath the high school. And the great old ones and the pure demons are going to rise up and kill everybody. And so Buffy and everybody is dealing with this, and it's like, and they're like, hey Xander, we don't want you to get hurt. Why don't you just go chill out? Just go get us like some donuts or something like that. Relax. And so it starts to bother Xander that he's like a nobody. He's like this goofy idiot, and that he's got nothing. So it starts with him trying to like reinvent himself by basically buying a car that he shouldn't buy. And he gets wrapped up in this crazy situation where the high school bully that also, you know, gave him some shit and threatened him, kind of like, he winds up temporarily earning the guy's respect, and he goes on this kind of crazy, like, dude, where's my car adventure, with this bully who he discovers is actually like a knife-wielding zombie psychopath he decides to run around with him that night and resurrect his friends who are all dead, and he brings them back as like zombie thugs, and they run around and they start causing problems, and they essentially he gets in this crazy. He has this crazy night where he's just trying to pick up this girl with the bronze, and then the zombie dude threatens him with a knife. Jackie O'Toole's the character's name. Jackie O'Toole threatens him with a knife, and then he's a member of the gang, but he's the driver, and like what's going on, and everybody's running around, like all his friends are running around fighting the monsters, but it's like you don't worry about it, you stay out of it. And he goes on this crazy adventure. He winds up like rescuing Faith from a demon, and then Faith has sex with him, and he loses his virginity. And then he eventually like realizes that the guys that like Jackie O'Toole, he's got all their stuff inside of the car, and he looks at it, and it's parts for a bomb. And he basically realizes what they were going to do is they're going to build a bomb, and they're going to blow up the high school. So then Xander, so while Buffy and the gang are in the high school fighting demons, and a giant snake demon from hell, like Cthulhu's maw, is coming out, and Giles is like, oh no, it's bigger than it was before, and Willow's like holding it back, and Buffy and Angel are having dramatic dialogue back and forth. It's like, no, I can't see you die again. It's like, no, it's like, just leave it. If it comes after me, it won't hurt anybody else. It's like they're having this epic, like, monumental thing. And unbeknownst to them, like, Xander is running around in the school at the same time, being chased by and chasing these zombie gang members who are trying to blow up the school. On top of that, it's a full moon, and Oz is a werewolf. So we also got a werewolf running around. So it's absolutely crazy and frenetic, and basically Buffy and everybody is saving the day from, or trying to save the day from this portal to hell's going to open up, and the world's going to be destroyed, and we're going to get overrun with demons, and they're trying to hold them off. But little do they know, underneath the building, in the basement, there's these zombie thugs are going to blow up the school. And if they blow up the school, then Buffy and his friends won't be, and her friends won't be able to close the Hellmouth, and we're all going to die anyway. And it's up to Xander to save the day, and Xander does. He winds up fighting off all the zombie guys, or like tricks them into getting eaten by Oz or the demons, and then he actually confronts Jackie O'Toole and fights Jackie O'Toole right with the bombs ticking away. And he fist fights him for a little bit, and then he holds him off, and they're like they're at a again, while all this epic shit's going on upstairs, while Buffy's like whacking a demon with an axe, and Willow's trying to close the portal downstairs, like Xander's having this standoff with Jackie O'Toole. And Jackie O'Toole, I'm not afraid of dying. I already died before, I can come back once. And then Xander like does this kung fu grip stare down with this motherfucker, and it's like, yeah, I don't think so. I think this is a different situation. What you're asking about here isn't about like dead temporarily and magically coming back and and hanging out with your buddies. You're talking about getting blown to pieces here right now. And you claim you're not really afraid of death, but it's like, no, I'm not going to let you. I'm not let you do this. I'm not going to let you get away with this, Jack. So you're the only one that can defuse the bomb. I'm not letting you get out of this room. That bomb goes off, you're going off with it. But then he's like, you'll die too. And Xander's like, I like the quiet life. And it's ticking down to like the last few seconds. And Xander just kind of looks, just kind of smiles and realizes he's about to die. But it's okay. He's lived in this night. If nothing else, he's lived. And he's going to die saving people. And the last second, Jackie O'Toole undoes the bomb. And then it's like, Xander's like, I don't think I want you in my town again, Jack. He walks away. And Jack's like, well, I'll be back, all right. And he opens the door, and Oz eats him. So that's funny. And the next day, Buffy and friends are having this conversation. People will never know that they were so close to dying. And little do they realize, so were they. Like, if it hadn't been for their friend who they underestimated, the guy they were worried about that they sent away to get donuts, they never would have survived. The world would never survived. Xander saved the world. And Cordelia comes up and makes fun of him once again. It's like, how's it feel being a nobody, Xander? And Xander just smiles at her. After the night he's had, he's okay. He's got it. I guess what my point is that ordinary people can be heroes. And Nicky, if you watch this, again, I had a great time hanging out with you, man. And I just want to let you know, it's like, whatever you're going through, what you're struggling with, you're a hero to me. You taught me that. You taught me that lesson, that just an ordinary guy can be a hero. And just keep at it, man. I know it's not easy. I know it's an everyday thing. I can't imagine what you're going through. I've had some shit happen to me too, but I can't imagine. I can't imagine what you're going through exactly. But at the same time, I had a teacher tell me once, I don't need to get shot to know that it hurts. And just keep at it, man. You're whether you realize it or not, you're making a difference in people's lives. And you're not only bettering yourself, you're not only helping yourself do better each day, you're helping other people. And just God bless you, man. I'm thinking of you. I'm praying of you. And I'll see you next time you're in Tampa. If I'm up nearby and it's like, oh, Nick Brendon's here in someplace that I'm road tripping to, hey, we'll come out. We'll have a beer. We'll play. We'll sing karaoke. Karaoke's what we got to do next. So I love you, man. I had a great time. And again, everybody, check the link in the description. Join the Facebook page, and go see Nicky Brendon. Before I go, one more thing I want to talk about. Again, giant nerd, video gamer. Sunrise Lanes has a really awesome arcade. I want to talk about it for a minute. There are some really cool games there that I just want to run down real quick. There's this new crazy Space Invaders game that it's like a giant tribute to the classic Space Invaders game, but you have a big light gun thing, and there's other crazy aliens that come out, giant aliens, and the spaceship's a little more random, and you get to you kind of move it around and shoot it on the big screen. It's really fun. It's really great. So they got that there, and I've also checked out in Ybor City. I was actually at the castle recently. Maybe should talk about that, but yeah, the I think the game place that's across the street from the castle. They got a big crazy a similar arcade game there as well. Sunrise has a amazing. This is a new thing for those of you who frequent arcades more than I do. You probably already know about this. There is a really freaking awesome The Walking Dead game out there that I'd never played before. And it's right when I was done hanging out with Nikki, I went back in and I beat that sucker. It's it's like your classic light gun games where the cabinet or kind of like Lost World or a lot of the other kind of cool arcade games where it's like you're in a car or something like that, or in kind of a booth, but you have a crossbow. And the crossbow gets so you're using the crossbow 90% of the time during the game, but then during the course of the story, well, I don't know why I put that in quotes. It is a story. During the course of the score, you get other weapons. You get a nail gun at one time. You get wrenches or things like that. You get melee weapons. And again, the goal is you can shoot the zombie anywhere, but you want to stop the zombie, hit it in the head. And it's taking place during the whole the prison event of the show. It's really fun and really intense. And it's dude, you haven't played the Walking Dead arcade game? Go fucking find one. It's really freaking awesome. There's also a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. I'm a giant Ninja Turtles fan, and and seriously, real talk now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, the original one, the classic one, the one that got turned into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 for the Nintendo, that's my favorite game of all time. That's the first video game I ever played and loved. I fell in love with it. I still play it. I still play it on MAME all the time. Because, and by the way, the Nintendo version's good. It's got new stuff in it, but graphically it's nothing compared to that original game. This is based off of the new Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles cartoon show, which I really haven't watched too much of, but from what I understand, it's really, really good. And what's awesome about it is it's the new Ninja Turtles, but it's taking cues from the classic arcade games. And that's kind of what I heard about the show anyway. The show is a giant love letter to everything Ninja Turtles prior before that. And it's it plays just like Turtles in Time or Ninja Turtles 4, where you can grab a foot soldier and slam them back and forward and throw them at the screen. It's oh my god, that's Turtles in Time. That's so freaking cool. You get credits for your little card that you can get prizes on for that too, which is really neat. And again, there's lots of great bosses. I think you can get Leatherhead and Metalhead as bonus characters. But when I was playing it, I fought Bebop, who has teleportation powers now in the new continuity, which is kind of cool. Chrome Dome, Baxter Stockman, a bunch of the Oobtrobs were there. I think they're called Krangs in the new show. Anyway, it was really good beat 'em up, really good. And again, beat 'em ups are probably because of Turtles are one of my favorite video game genres, an underappreciated video game genre. Really awesome. There's also an Injustice cabinet, or the DC Comics Injustice cabinet, which everybody tells me is so great and whatnot, and I don't like it because it looks like the New 52 and the DCEU, and it reminds me of things about DC Comics I don't like. But I never played it before, and people were telling me it was really good, and I played it. There's a cabinet there, and it was all right. It was all right. It was kind of it was reasonably fun, but I mean, it wasn't really anything to write home about. I think I was playing I played Green Lantern, Flash, and Cyborg. I think you're supposed to have. It was kind of a neat thing where it's like Pokemon, where it's you're supposed to collect these cards that the game gives you, and the cards you slide it into the game, and it gives you characters that you get. And so it's almost like Pokemon, where you get it's like a collectible card game angle of it. But it didn't do that. It kind of just randomly assigned your characters, and I fought fought Nightwing, Deathstroke, and Lex Luthor, and that was neat. But the thing is, it's you only get one one credit you only fight one match, and then the game's over. And as a fighting game person, that's a huge faux pas. No, no, no. I shouldn't have to put money back into a fighting game unless I either beat the game or I lose. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's just how you do fighting games. So it's like, on top of that, like, the super moves you do weren't that impressive. Like, Cyborg's, like, Sonic Cannon was just like, meh. It was okay. It was like, it was a reasonably okay fighter, but it was a little jilted and still, like, it was a little stilted and whatnot. I still have never played Injustice on the home consoles, though, so maybe it plays better on the home consoles. But it was just okay. I played better. Last thing I want to talk about is the other game that they have there, which I've played many times before, is it's the new Jurassic Park arcade game. There's actually been a ton of Jurassic Park arcade games, and as a giant nerd, I've played all of them. You have the original Jurassic Park game, which is like it's first-person perspective, but it's two-dimensional, and it was at primarily Chuck E. Cheese's. You can play it on MAME if you're interested. There's the really awesome Lost World Jurassic Park arcade game, where it's like you're in a Jeep, and you shoot the screen, and you have good old-fashioned 3D raptors and T-Rexes that attack you. And then there's the, I think, underappreciated Jurassic Park 3 game, where it's a little easier than the Lost World game, and I think that's the problem with it. But I mean, it's still fun. Still fun. You're running around shooting Dilophosauruses and raptors, and you fight the Spinosaurus. But the new one they have, like you've probably seen in arcades, is you have this big, just like cannon, this big like chain gun cannon, and the premise is, ironically, and I love this, that this game was created before the shithole that was Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. The plot is, there's a volcano in Jurassic Park, and all the dinosaurs are going to die. So you're a bunch of mercenaries that have been hired to capture some of the dinosaurs and rescue them. Of course, the dinosaurs aren't going to go easy. So, and invariably while you're there, like every single raptor, Dilophosaurus, and giant bug and pteranodon wants you fucking dead. But the game's awesome. The game's awesome, especially because you get these big, like, all different types of weapons. You like freeze rays. You can like freeze the raptors and the Dilophosauruses. It's really great. The big bosses of the game, there's a Triceratops, there's a T-Rex, and the Spinosaurus. And it's really, really fun. I actually beat it already when I was at Pensacola, and I think the guys that made that are the same people that made like Alien Assault and Alien Extinction, which are two of the more recent arcade games for the Aliens franchise. Anyway, long story short, Sunrise Rise Lanes is a really awesome arcade. I had a freaking blast. It was a great time. Again, thank you to Nicky Brendon. Thank you to Sarah. Thank you to everybody that was at the meet and greet. I'll see you guys next guys when you're in town. This is the Dread Pirate saying, check out Buffy and check out Nick Brendon's Facebook page. Come and hang out with him. It's really cool. I'll catch y'all later, and next time, Screamageddon.